So here we have a 2014 Grand Cherokee Summit with a V8. The car currently doesn't start, so one of the first thing you can do in the screen with the info, look at your readings for the battery. So here we have a low battery voltage. You can also use one of those cigarette lighter plug-in that can give you a reading on your voltage to make sure your battery is fully charged. So the thing is, you have to already put the vehicle in one position to get an actual proper reading. So here we have 12 volts. It's actually a fully charged battery, and we replaced it. And if I try to press the run button, nothing happens. So stop, press on the brake pedal. I can hear the fuel pump priming, but that's it, and there is no start condition. So one of the issue could be sometime it doesn't detect that the gear lever selector is in park. If you have an OBD2 reader like this one I have here, I can go in diagnostic. So in live data, current gear. Here in the menu you can see that the current gear is in park, so it's correctly detecting that the car is in park, so that's not the problem. So here in the menu I have the ignition switch status, and if I try to press the start button, it should switch to start. Yep, you can see when I press start, it's trying to initialize the start. So at this point, the car should start. It's doing everything it is supposed to, detecting it's in park, trying to do send the start signal to the engine. So the problem now is with the starter. So here under the hood, we have the fuse box with the detail of all the fuses and relays. The relay for the starter is here, and the fuse for the starter is just behind it here. So you can test those two, make sure they are good. Here I tested them, they are good. Now I know that my issue is with the starter that is under the driver's side. So before we go and work on the starter, we are gonna unplug the battery from the car. So the battery is located here under the front passenger seat. So you will have to access it from the rear. So the best is to move the seat forward as far as you can and as up as you can. Here I'm all the way forward. If you don't have power because your battery is weak to access the battery, you can plug a battery booster or a battery tender just here. There's a positive here and the negative stud just here to charge. Here I use it to charge the battery, but you could just power the car from here with battery cables or whatever power source you have, so that you can move the seats. So here, going here, you can see the plates. It's just clipped in, so you can grab it from the back here and pop it up. It's also clipped in the front, so you can put your hand underneath to pop the front clip. Here, now you can see the front clips, the rear clips, and once you pop this out, you have here access to the battery. If you had to replace the battery, just disconnect the two connectors, and here at the bottom, two nuts at the bottom that are holding the plate, that are holding the battery in place. That's the only thing that holds the battery in place. So you remove those two nuts, pull the plate, and then you can remove the battery. So here to work on the car, I'm just gonna disconnect the negative of the battery. To do that, you just have to loosen this 10 mil here, and that will spread the clamp. There we go. This loosened. Just have to set this up now. There we go. Make sure I put it away so that it doesn't contact. And now there's no power in the car. Okay, so now we'll go under the car and go get a look at the starter. Okay, so if we start from the front, here, the starter is located just here. As you can see, there is a bolt that is accessible from here. And the other one is going to be at the top. We're going to have to access it from the rear. So I'm going to have to remove this panel here. And also for convenience, because we're going to extract the starter to the front, I'm going to remove also this front panel here that I disconnected. And I'm going to get here, then I'll show you how to access the starter. To get better access, we're going to drop the drive shaft. So here, 8mm Allen, and for the rear, I'll try to get them from here with the same thing, 8mm Allen, so that we get this drive shaft out of the way. Right now we are blocked in neutral. We don't have power. To turn the drive shaft, we have to put the transmission in neutral. Put the transmission in neutral. Same thing if you had to tow the car. You pop this little plastic trim here in the back. Then you have access to the transmission release here. You see the arrow with the lock here. You put your screwdriver in there. Push that on the side to the release section. Leave that up, and now the transmission is in neutral. We have released the transmission, so we're going to be able to go back down, rotate the drive shaft. If the drive shaft is moving too much, we're just going to put it in position, then release this latch to put it back in park so that we get some resistance from the transmission. Okay, we remove all the bolts. We're going to try to pop the drive shaft out, which is probably going to require some convincing. Yes, this part is the part that should be moving. It is not moving. Let's try the front. It moved. Yeah. This one looks like it needs to move forward. I got it.
Now to try to get it out.
Yeah, how the fuck did you get this? Do we have to...
I mean, it collapses a little on the slippy links, but
I mean, it might be coming through the hole here.
I can't move up or down right here.
Don't tell me we have to drop the brace here. Okay. So that should drop now. It does drop! Yoo-hoo! Yeah. Take it back. So now we can finally get drive shaft out for free.
Maybe?
Yes. Yeah, so there was the inside has definitely a groove inside. So here it's a 15mm swivel attachment and then extensions. So here we can just go in between, and then when you arrive here, you can see on the starter, you can see my socket fits right in there. So I'm gonna be able to, you can even just do with one extension. My little half-inch So I got the second bolt out. Yeah, starter is moving. So now we have the wires connected at the top of the starter that we will have to disconnect. That's going to be a ton of fun to go put those wires back in with the new starter.
Well, hopefully there's enough.
That is out. So that should take care of the positive wire on the starter. Negative just look like this. So we just removed the positive that was behind this. Not the negative, should just be a slide on. Okay, let's try it. Pliers. Yep, that was just tough to pull. Okay, so now I have both wires out. Let's extract the starter. Hopefully it will come through the front. Always a fun job. Oil pan. Look at that. There we go. The thing is, it does shield with the ribs of the oil pan there. It does shield when you go back, grab the, so you have to kind of bend it a bit so that it clears. So that's our nice and old crusty starter. Actually, you can see the ground is broken here. You see how it's ruptured here. So now let's transfer to this guy. They look like they are the same. Yep.
There's a hole for the heat shield, so that's promising.
Let's try to get the heat shield out. I'm not too convinced with the rust on it that it's gonna work, but always worth a shot. We shall see. Oh, I'm impressed.
That's too easy.
No rust on the inside.
That's good.
This one might need a bit more convincing. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this one is not gonna come. It's gonna stay in the starter, which is fine. We got our heat shield unscathed. I have some more of those. So I think I should try to put the heat shield back now, because afterwards it's gonna be just impossible. For the restoration to be correct, you have to put a bolt with the same amount of rust on it.
Untouched.
Untouched. Look at that, they match. There we go. Okay, let's put that baby back in there. I'll try to.
Make sure you put it in the right way.
So I entered it this way, right? Oh, look at this. Once you know the angle, it works. Okay.
There you go.
Now I'm gonna have to do the rotation thingy.
You wanna go?
By getting my arm through here, I'm able to hold it in place. And actually, if you look through here, you should see the starter here now that is aligned.
Somewhat. It's dark.
What?
Oh yeah, you can kind of see it.
You need my light? Here, is it better?
Yeah, you can see the shiny thing.
Okay. Back in mid. Over the control arm. Align this more or less. Getting this started, I think. Yes, it is started. Okay, just enough to hold it while I try to put the top one.
I don't know if I'm gonna get an angle for the top one, but
That's fine.
yeah, it's right there.
Okay. So here I did put both bolts back in. Now that we don't have the drive shaft. tight enough to me. And now the top one.
We're gonna get it.
Okay. Tight enough. So now the fun part, putting the wires back on. Trying to get the positive back on this. So you can see the positive over there. I'm gonna put the nut back on it. Yeah, so it went a quarter turn and now it's grabbing. Let's hope. Let's hope that will be enough. Yeah, that was enough. Okay, it's tight. So now let's see if the negative cable is gonna play nice or not. Okay, so we have the negative connector back in. So the plastic connector broke off. So yeah, what we ended up doing is reusing the shield. That's where I want to focus. And moving the shield forward around and put a zip tie. So now back at putting back shaft back in place and then the transmission brace, and we can give it a try. Okay, so here we put the drive shaft back in place. Torque to 41 foot-pounds. We put some paint to make sure nothing would back off. And we reinstall the cradle for the transmission. And now before we put the shields back on, we're gonna give it a try. Okay, we're back, moment of truth. Put the car back in park and putting that back down. And that was a starter.